So I'm filming, it's 11 o'clock at night, and this is mostly because I did the incredibly stupid thing of having 4 monsters in one day. Why did I do this? I have no idea. But now I'm incredibly irritable, and I have kicked my cats out of my bedroom, and instead of being able to sleep, I got up and chose to film, because there is a lot on my mind. So let's just talk about it. First of all, this TikTok ban. I'm still processing all of the information and trying to figure out how to feel about it, and I haven't been able to look past what the fuck am I going to do to ask people to consider the thingy now, other than crank out more YouTube videos. And I'm not sure if I can really keep up with that kind of productivity, so that's got me a little extra stressed. And I try to stay away from politics on my social media presence. However, trans lives have become politicized, and I think it is incredibly convenient that at a time like this, when countless anti-trans bills are getting passed through several different state legislature, that all of a sudden, Meta is able to lobby enough interest and throw enough money in the right directions to get a bipartisan bill look a lot more palatable to say TikTok is gonna get sold or it's gonna get banned. I have so many opinions. I have so many things that I could say on this because I don't think that it is deliberately specifically to try and get people to not pay attention to all of the anti-trans bills getting passed. But bro, the timing is impeccable. Now hang on, if you will excuse me, I am still irritable with my cats. And don't you worry, I'm not going to shoot the cat. I'm going to shoot the door, because I thought that they were coming in, trying to scratch at the door. However, it appears that I am simply hearing them in their cat box in the bathroom, which is across the hallway. So this is locked, loaded, and ready to go. This brings me to another point. I have found myself in a position where when I go to the store and I have a few extra bucks, I'm not spending money on candles and witchcraft supplies so I can continue doing witchy shit. I spent 20 bucks on a motherfucking Nerf gun. Did that thing bounce across the... It did. Bounced off the wall and across the room. But I feel better because it's not loaded anymore. I'm trying to get that to set up... Fuck it. I'm going to hang on to it, apparently. So this Nerf gun is something that I invested money into. And what am I investing in? My own childlike behavior. Because I don't want to be one of those people who is like doom and gloom constantly. One of the reasons that I make content is specifically to try and help others distract themselves from all of the awful, icky bullshit in the world. But I'm at a point where I can't ignore it. So say doomsday comes in within the next couple of weeks to the next couple of months. I want to make sure that I have been having the time that I haven't been allowing myself the last several years and get a fucking Nerf gun and shoot my wall because I am playing with myself. And I'm going to leave it right there. So I want to thank those of you who have considered the thingy in the past. You know what, I'm not even going to put it up. I want to thank those who have supported the channel and added to my childlike behavior so I could afford such a thing. Moving on to the next subject. The next 2 parts go kind of hand in hand with the last 2 parts, where I am still making witchy and spiritual content because people like it. It hits the algorithm real nice, at least comparatively to some of my other shit, because I talk about DID or I don't even upload anything with a hashtag or singing videos where I'm doing singing or screaming. Those don't go anywhere. And if they do, it's not very far. That witchy shit, though, flicks the clit of the algorithm and go, this is what I'm doing with my time. This is the shit that I'm on at 11:06 p.m. So the witchy shit is hitting the algorithm real nice recently. And yet at the same time, there are some days where nothing goes anywhere, and I'm at a point of frustration with this inconsistent reliability of the algorithm to actually favor my content, where I'm just like, you know what? Go to it, insta bad rubbish. I'll figure out a way to get myself in front of people to say, and point to the thingy. I'm thinking ahead of time to where I'm going to be in editing, and I already don't want to edit the part where I'm putting the text box up here, even though I've got plenty of space to get the fuck out of here. Even though I've got plenty of space to do it, I already don't want to 500 times put the same caption in right here. I said get the fuck out of here. This doesn't mean that it is lost on me that the lack of TikTok en masse is still an incredible restriction of the sharing of information at incredible rates. This ultimately is a horrible thing in the long run for people to actually share points and takes and express their lives and opinions, and I think if I really need to over-explain myself, I'm going to wind up hurting myself more than anything. I'm going off of monster and spite at this point. Focus. Recenter. I'm kinda sick of witchy shit again. I noticed that I have this fluctuation of I'm really enjoying making the content, and then all of a sudden, I'm really fucking sick of that kind of content. And whatever the case may be, I really don't want it to migrate over here to be a mainstay. If it is part of the content I'm making here, cool, awesome, wow, magnificent. I don't want it to be the focus. And now I have made a few videos where people are suggesting things like, why don't you make a Patreon and blah, 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 blah. Well, a few videos back from this one, I believe the name of the video was Witchy Business and Why My Craft Isn't My Job or something to that nature. And I've already explained why I don't really want witchy Patreon or offer services of a witchy nature. But I also don't really want to make books. I don't want to write witchy books. I don't want to write anything, really. I just made myself sad because I used to be a writer and I just honestly admitted I don't want to write anything. Moving on. And none of this means that I have stopped being a witch or a pagan. Real quick. We've got Apollo over here. We've got Lady Akate's things over there. And then Queen Persephone has the altar and her candle is currently going. I'm still doing the thing. I'm still living the life. I'm still worshiping these gods, working with them and interacting with them. But working with Apollo recently, I've kind of like come out of the spooky, dark, macabre shit, at least to the all-encompassing degree that it was. And I'm just not as interested. However, this is where Apollo being a god of music really comes into play, because I've been doing something with myself and with my headmates where we are doing musical memory lane, where we're just listening to music and letting it go, but all the music we're listening to is stuff that we used to listen to in the past. And with the music, it is bringing all of the memories that are associated with that music. And from that, we're able to talk and hang out and in our headspace and in our inner world, listen to music, talk about the memories, remember the good times and sometimes the bad times. And I'm looking at parts of my past like, one, sometimes being an alternate DID system sucks because I don't remember large chunks of my life, even high school, middle school, shortly after graduation, there's just pieces that aren't there because, and I realize this because I'll be hanging out with Dahlia, or I'll be hanging out with Nina or Raven, and they will have a memory and they'll share it, and I kind of, since they're in headspace, I sort of like see it with them, and I'm just like, it's obvious now. I remember it clear as day now that you're sharing it with me. How much of my life is just missing from me? And since this is what I have been doing with most of my last couple of days, I haven't really wanted to do anything witchy or anything spiritual in the greater witch talk definition. This, what I'm doing, is, in essence, spiritual. Even though it appears to be incredibly mundane, it is still gratifying to myself, in my soul, that I am able to have these experiences right now. It is spiritually uplifting. So I'm having a hard time even giving a shit about witchy and spiritual content and wanting to make it, because I'm still doing my ritual, my morning ritual thing, where my worship and Orphic hymns are a part of my morning ritual, because I can wake up, go on autopilot, make my coffee, make my tea for my gods, and all of this other shit. It's autopilot, and I'm getting into the groove of things, and my autistic brain loves the structure of just having an autopilot thing to do and have a way of doing things. And this is one of the reasons why I do actually enjoy some sort of structured ritual worship. But it's cool because, unlike when I was Christian, there's actually gods I can interact with now, and they listen to my prayers, and for the most part, they answer my prayers. That's fucking cool. But I am at a point in my life, in my craft, in my practice, in my personal development, where I have found a little nook for myself. I have carved out a pattern and a path where I am still leading a spiritually fulfilling life, where I'm having interactions with divinity, and I am working with them and worshiping them and engaging in reciprocity. I don't want to fucking talk about it anymore. Hell, I don't even really want to do the deity interaction videos anymore. I mean, these ideas for them and conversations that I am having with them in meditation or in incredible dissociative moments. And then I go to like, oh hey, how-to video, and I'm just like, why am I even bothering? Why the fuck am I putting so much of myself in my content now? And it's fine if it serves a purpose, if I feel like somebody can relate, or if I feel like somebody needs to hear what I have to say, or if I feel like if the God who I'm interacting with is agreeing to sharing that conversation, maybe somebody who sees that content needs to hear it. There are degrees and reasons and variables as to why I am okay with sharing that kind of content, where I am okay with sharing interactions with the divine beings that I engage with, but I don't want to right now. And with an imminent ban on Clock app, I don't know how to justify myself why it is worth the effort and to tax myself emotionally and mentally to go through the effort to make these videos when it's a 50-50 shot on whether or not that video is going to perform well once it is uploaded. The ends don't justify the means. And a lot of this has to do with why I don't want to fucking do it anymore. Since the beginning of the Deity series, and for those of you who don't know what the Deity series is, it was a 2-month adventure where it was pretty much non-stop Deity interaction videos, and we're going to leave it at that. For those of you who were there, you know. For those of you who weren't, we're going to leave it at that. But the time frame is mid-July. Since mid-July, so much of myself and my private life has become the source material for the content that I'm making when it is involving daily interactions, and I'm at a point where I'm just exhausted and I want to keep that shit to myself now. Is this a part of growing up? Is this a part of maturing? Is this a part of just like getting more comfortable in myself? Maybe. Maybe it is. I'm gonna think on that one for later. I'm gonna stew on that one off screen. Now, in order to wrap this video up, I'm going to start off with, it seems evident at this point that my focus and my effort is going to be funneled here. And if all of it's going to be witchy and spiritual, I'm going to hate it and I'm going to make myself miserable. If all my stuff is dark and macabre and spooky, I'm going to hate it and I'm going to make myself miserable. Now, it would be cool if these are things that I visit and things that I am incorporating as a part of it. But I also have 5 different coffees by Bones Coffee that I need to get around to actually doing reviews for. But I'm trying to get creative with this one because I'm kind of exhausted by the way that I have been doing the coffee reviews, but I don't want to change it up too much. There is a creative process going on here where I am considering how to do the Bones Coffee reviews, because there's 5 of them that I have. It was a sample pack, starter pack, but somebody did support the channel, so I could, in fact, do that. So I'm gonna do it. I've got them. Question is how. But anyhow, I've got some ideas, I've got some creative influence, and things that are just good, like, good go-tos that I can do. But I also really enjoy doing videos like this where it's very casual, very sit down. I feel like it's more of a casual hangout with the viewer, casual hangout with you, even though this was filmed hours, if not days, if not weeks ago. But it still feels more personal than it does a structured, rigid, formulaic type of YouTube video. I really enjoy that. Which brings me back to my next conclusion. I don't want to do a lot of the content that I have done in the past. There was a while, when was it? I want to say it was like February into April of 2020. A lot of the content I was doing was very boring. It was very surface level, formulaic. Like, I was doing a lot of quizzes and games. Like, I did either.io. I did the Would You Rather. I did a couple of those. A couple of BuzzFeed videos. I did the, what the hell was it? The text to AI. You type in the text and it brings it back to you. I forget what it was called, but I did a couple of these types of videos, and that was fun when I was doing it. But if I were to do it now, I'm not sure how I would feel about it. I might have a little bit of fun and just try it, just see how it happens. Point is, I'm having difficulties looking back at content that I made before and then being like, yeah, this is a good go-to. It just feels cheap. It feels cheapened, and I'm cheapening myself. But I did have fun when I was doing it. I guess what I'm saying is, things are different than they were before. And it feels as if that there is a chance that TikTok may not be a thing anymore. Also, I'm going to be moving in June. So even though I've got all of my stuff set up in my room, I'm filming on my tripod that is on my table that is now in my bedroom. Even though I've got this nice little nook in here that's nice and cozy, and I've kind of got it primed specifically for filming and editing so I can be in my own little hidey hole and do my thing. This isn't going to last long. I'm going to be moving in a couple of months. So is it really worth my time at this moment to really get into a nice groove, knowing it is going to come to an end? Knowing that whatever I'm doing now, it is not going to last. So I'm thinking that we're just going to do a whole bunch of wild card shit, and it's going to be an incredibly experimental phase. And I might wind up liking that a lot more than anything that is structured and formulaic. This is a blessing, and it is a curse. It is a blessing because the sky's the limit. Anything I can think of, I could probably try to play with it. The problem is, I don't have anything to really fall back on or default to. I don't have a type of content that is just a quick bullshit, film it, edit, and throw it up when I need to do something on the fly. What is my life right now? This is what is happening when I am stepping away from the anime portion of my life and going back to the regular attempting to do normal people shit again. But hey, did you see the Nerf gun? That was pretty cool. I'm very happy about this, and I have no idea why. Alright, and mixed it in a child happy. Should I name her? No, that would be weird. That would be fucking weird. However, on that note, I am done. I'm wrapping it up here. This was fun. This was nice. This was surprisingly nice. I enjoyed this. I had a good time. Did you have a good time? Let me know in the comments. If you're still here, thanks for listening. As always, take care and much love.